Okay, so in this third session of the third day of our webinar season third, semester 3 students are making presentations here on post-colonial studies. Okay? And this is the last slot from 2 to 4 that we are going to have the presentations by these students. The students who are going to make presentations here are Hitixa, Hina, Hareshwari, Hansa, Dharti, Dhara, Bharti, Asha, and Amit. Yeah, these students are going to make their presentations in this slot. So let me ask, I think Hitixa has not joined yet. So Hina, we will start with Hina. So Hina, you can start your presentation on post-colonial studies.
Yes, sir.
By the time she is making an adjustment of sharing the screen, let me remind you all that you have to do peer and self-evaluation. Don't forget to complete your work of peer and self-evaluation. Yesterday, I have seen that many of you have not done it yet. Many of you have yet not done the peer and self-evaluation. So please see that it is done. Amit has presented both the presentations yesterday. So you have to edit your responses. You have to edit your responses. You don't have to fill again, but you can edit the responses. I hope you have put your titles also in the spread document. Everybody, Asha has not put yet the title. Then Hansa, Hareshwari, your titles are still missing out. And I hope you all have uploaded your documents, your PPTs in Google Classroom also. Okay? In Google Classroom, where through rubric, I'm going to check it out. And while the assessment is done, if you have any problem, then share your screenshot so we can discuss if you want to know more about the rubric-based assessment of your oral presentations here. Yes, okay, Hina, you can start your presentation now.
Yes, sir. Hello, friends. Today I am going to present about the post-colonial literature. Today's my topic is the gender role of in finance work, black skin, white marks. Brief introduction about what is post-colonial literature. Colonialism is imperialism are often used interchangeably. The word colonialism, according to the Oxford Dictionary, comes from the Roman colonia, which means farm or settlement, and referred to Romans who settled in other land but still retained their citizenship. According to Oxford Dictionary, a settlement in a new country, a body of people who settled in a new locality forming a community subject to or connected with their parent state. The community so formed consisting of the original settlers and their descendants and succeeders as long as the connection with the parent state it kept up. Then black skin, white marks, pheasant phenon. Pheasant phenon combines autobiographic case study, philosophy, and psychological theory in order to describe an analysis and the experience of black men and women white control society. Domain is especially interested in the experience of black people from French colonized island in the Caribbean, like himself, who have to come to live in France themselves. He explores how these peoples are encouraged by a racist society to want to become white, but then experience serious psychological problem because they aren't able to do so. Next topic, next slide. The gender role of in finance black skin white marks. In black skin white marks, women are considered as a subject almost exclusively in terms of their sexual relationship with men. Feminine desire is thus detained as an overly literal and limited sexuality, but through feminine subjectivity clearly deserve broader description. The dimensions of its confinement within black skin, white marks uh, indicate the architecture of racist masculinity or and femininity in the colonial context. Next, black woman subjectivity, race and gender. By examining the role of gender and black skin white marks, I am in Fanon speak that I am too broad and Fanon's outline of black woman seen subjectivity and to work toward delineating the interdependence of race and gender. Although they made from a common construction of otherness in psychoanalysis discourse, wrestling difference and sexuality difference intersect and interact in contractually variable. Then mythical significance of post-colonial theories. It is gesturing toward multicultural context, nearly forestal a gender critique of black skin white mass. Fanon recorruption as a global theories. Gates noted that Fanon is mobilized as in ethnographic contracts and it used as both totem and text to model a unified theory of prison. According to Gates, pressing Fanon into the service, a global theory colonized problems either a sentimental um, romance of alterity, complete with a utopian vision of fully achieved independence from the colonial relation or a conception of that reaction as close inescapable system. Then visual difference in gaze white. First question that launches Fanon's inquiry: what does the black people want? Q went, I am nowhere. This is psychology of colonialism, raised the psychologistic territory of otherness from femininity. As Homi Baba noted, with a question that echoes Freud, what does women want? Freud turns to confront the colonized world in contrast of Fanon's Freud question, which has become emblematic of woman's ability to determine her own meaning within patriarchal significance. Fanon's recovers a certain power of self-definition. Freud addressed his question to men, not women, and eclipsed masculine desire for men. Fanon is both subject and object, encounter address of this question of desire. Next, Fanon's experience of corporeal disintegration under the white gaze. The relationship between viewer and scene is always one of fracture, patrial identification, pleasure and destruct. As if Freud found the aptest analogy for the problem of our identity as human subject in failures of vision or in a violence which can be done and image it is offers itself to view. Vision is instrumental in production, both racial and sexual different, but the violence done to spectator is not the same as that done to spectator in scopic regimes of race and gender. Sexual difference may operate in a visual field, but men and women are accorded disparate position in that differentiation. Then Fanons and the woman and color. The women of color and the white men. and its correlative chapter, The Men of Color and White Women, provide a gendered comparison of the desire of some colonized black and inhabit whiteness through a socio-sexual relationship with the white partner. Done like links this psychosexual desire to mimicry. The Blake's confirmation which whiteness is automatically pathological most frequently takes the form of a certain mimicry. This mimicry is characteristic of the both sexes. Fanon devotes a separate chapter to each, making his analysis circulate and around a literature text in each state instead. Then hierarchy of difference. An elegiac analysis of black skin, white masks by Homi Bhabha, Fanon's foremost postcolonial explicator and the staunchest advocate of his psychologistic approach, exemplified the critical tendency to gloss over Fanon's illusion of gender. Homi Bhabha says in his essay, remembering Phanos, striving to preserve Phanon's near mythical state while acknowledging Phanon's theoretical limit. Thank you. These are the references.
You have referred to this dark continents in the slide. What is the dark continents? That
Dark. Which slide, sir?
this is Fano and the women and color. And also use this word totem. Yeah, can you explain that word? What is the meaning of totem?
No, sir.
It's a very interesting word. Yeah. Huh? Yes.
I am chosen in this article, but I don't know.
But when you make your slides, no, at that time there should be that curiosity that, well, what is this? What I am using in my slide? So I should be aware about all those things. Totem. Anybody else can tell me what is totem? TOTEM. I have put that question in chat also. Anybody else, if you can tell me?
The word totem means any natural object or a kind of animal that is believed to be have a in society, that particular subject is considered have a spiritual significance.
For example, any example?
For example, any kind of a statue or a symbolical image or etc.
No, from our
Like,
life, do you find any example from our life?
So we used to worship the tree Tulsi, which we consider as a goddess Tulsi.
So that becomes a symbol, which can say totem. Tulsi becomes an example of totem.
A cow also.
Cow, totem, Rudraksh.
Yes.
And so that is in surrounding. You have to see what are those things which we consider it as that example, that it has its own symbolic representative of a particular quality or concept, and which is connected with spiritual significance in a particular society. And then it has its own secular meaning also. It has its own secular meaning also. There is one example given here. The fast food chains have become totems of Western economic development. Fast food chains have become the totems of Western economical development model. In that way, you can see that example, the totem, secular meaning of totem, how it can be used in sentence. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, next one. Who is the next presenter?
Sir, it is used for poles are typically created out of red cater.
Used for?
Relative. Poles are typically created out of red cedar, a malleable wood relatively abundant in the Pacific Northwest. Pacific
No,
Northwest.
no. But if I use the sentence, food chains, food chains. Then how is it that connected? That meaning what you say, prepared of this, is it connected in that way? Food chain is the totem of Western economic model or economic development. Food chain is the totem of that. So totem is a very interesting word. Go deep in. It is not only what you see as an image, wooden thing made. You see some picture about that when you Google it out. But it is not that only. It is many things. It is many things. Totem is many, and then it is used as food chains are the totem of food chains. So go deep into that word. That is very important. Yeah. Okay. Hareshwari, are you ready? Okay. Then Hansa.
Yes, sir.
Hareshwari, are you there? Hareshwari?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Let Hareshwari take the turn. Afterwards, Hansa, your turn. Yes, Hareshwari. Yeah.
Sir, last present.
You want to present it last, okay. Okay, then Hansa. Yes, Hansa. Now you can present. Yeah. Yes, Hansa, are you joining? No, we are not able to listen you. Your voice, yeah, we are not able to listen. No, your voice is not reaching us. It seems you have joined from 3 devices. Yeah, but okay. Yes, Hansa, are you trying to join? Put mic on in another device so we can come to know if you are okay. You are sharing your screen. We are seeing your screen. Yes. Yes, you are presenting the screen. Yes, Hansa. Yes.
Okay, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Yeah.
Dear my friends, my presentation topic is elaborated racism through the Ghasiram Kotwal. Ghasiram Kotwal is the Marathi playwright Vijay Tendulkar in 1972 as a response to the rise of local political political party in Maharashtra. The play is political satire, right as historical drama. It is based on the life of Nana Patel, Mrs. one of the prominent minister in the court of Peshwa Gashiram Kotwal, the police chief of the city. It is theme is women is power, give rise to ideology, save to grave purposes, and later to destroy the theme. Then they becomes useless. It was first performance in 16 December 1972 by the Progressive Dramatic Association in Pune. About play in the play, Gashiram is main character. He comes to Pune. He is working with lovely dancer. Gashiram, being a Brahmin, goes to connect arm at the Peshwa festival the next day. However, he is treated there and he serves with pickpocketing and inquisitor for the office. Continue. He then decide to take revenge. So the play continue to reach the next part. His play. Gashiram exchanges his own daughter to get the post of Kotwal of the Pune from the Nana gets Gauri, and Gashiram gets power and position. Continue. Having get the post, he begins to enforce strict rules in the city. He start asking for permission for everything and start throwing people in joy for the Samlet office. It is sometimes Gashiram daughter is impregnated by Nana and during the situation goes out head. Then he in the joy dining room separation. Continue. The Brahmins then complain to the Peshwa. The Peshwa amongst Nana who ordered Gashiram to be clad in the most inhuman way possible. Suffering. He suffers because he does not look like Brahmins, and that's why he suffers a lot. He humiliates a lot the play. He is a good man, but the situation make him badly. All Brahmin behaviors with him very badly. He is not thief, but becomes of his look he becomes thief. Continue. He tries to power himself, but he fell and becomes a criminal. He does not anything. Then he punished. He is angry. Then he decide to take revenge. Then he work with lovely dancer. At that time, he also humiliated by Nana. From him his city is new. That's why he needs support, and through his work he wants respect, but does not get support and respect. Continue. So the suffering converts into the revenge and he becomes Kotwal and start to take revenge with people. And becomes more strict, and he created many rules then, and those who break the rules he gave then punished, and at the end and he also killed by people in a very inhuman way. Continue. Conclusion. In the play struggle for identity and struggle for belongingness in the is there in the play. Play is ignored and humiliated by people. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Next presenter is Dharti.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, are you connecting?
Yes.
Yes, Dharti,
Yes. Yes.
speak something so we come to know what you are doing. Yeah, are you speaking?
Yes. I'm audible.
Very low voice, very low it is. Yeah, keep your mic near your mouth. Ha, yes.
Now.
Ha, yes. Yeah, you have to speak little bit louder. Yeah.
I'm not able to say the question.
Your presentation. Okay, now again it is coming. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You'll have to, I think, hold your mic near your mouth. Huh? Otherwise, it will not catch your voice.
Now I'm audible.
Ha, yes. Speak little bit louder. Yeah. Yeah, continue.
So today I'm going to talk about the post-colonial literature. I have selected the topic Orientalism and Occidentalism. So let's see. So if we are talking about Orientalism and Occidentalism, so then we have to question that what is the meaning of this word thing or what the word. Orientalism is a way of seeing that imaging and emphasizing the exaggerated and distorted differences of the East and culture as compared to the West. That means those who are Western people, they are studying the East culture, that people, what they are doing, how they are living, and everything. That is all about.
Yeah, Dharti, you have muted yourself. Yeah. Unmute yourself. Unmute. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Continue. Yes.
So today I'm going to talk about the Orientalism and the Occidentalism into the post-colonial literature. So let's see. That means what is the Orientalism and Occidentalism? And Occidentalism and Orientalism both are different from the one another. If we say it is a contrast or in a totally opposition, like Orientalism is studied about the Western people, Eastern people. That means it's Western people who are talking about the Orient, how they are living, how they are how they have a different culture from them, and they are seeing in the people in a way of imaging and emphasizes and exaggerated and distorted difference of the East and culture as compared to the West. And another one is Occidentalism. That is a very crucial word about Western culture, how they are using hegemony over the Orient. It refers and identifies the representation of the Western and there is a true way of representation of the Occidentalism. That one is as a dehumanizing a stereotype of the Western world, and another one is the ideological representation of the West. And so let's see how both are different from the one and another. Like Orientalism has a different notion of living the life, those who are Orient, and Occidentalism, that means Western people also have a different culture and lifestyle. Orientalism, we talk about if we say the Orientalism and Occidentalism, then Occidentalism is come into the center and Orientalism is in the periphery because those who are a Western person, they are very much rich and they have a notion of living like it is also considered as a civilized people. So they Orient are considered as a uncivilized people. Like it studies about the Eastern world and the Occidentalism is talking about the Western world and it depends on the rationalism. Those who are Orient or Occidentalism, those who are in a part of or those who are Occident, they are depends on the imperialism, and it is Orient who is shaping the values and beliefs of others and their reasons. While Occidentalism, in the Occident, those who are living and they working in the place of study. So, as I already said, that Orient who is uncivilized or Occident, they are civilized. So, here is how we are reading Orientalism and the Occidentalism. There is a conflict between both the things, or Eastern world and Western world both have a conflict. So in the here we can find the unnecessary conflict between the East and West, like the writer, Tunisian writer Mohammed Tabili, uh, who put in his book Kilo Allah in that he is talking about going from the tolerance to mutual respect gives the other the right to be different from. And what is really means? This means that if I am tolerant, this is just out of my generosity. And whereas in the respect, it is his legal and moral right to be different. And there is another two articles written by the Huntington's, like a clash of with civilization. It is talking about the Orient and about the Orient as a it has some kind of effect of threat and occurrence from the Western, or maybe Western says that they are occurrence from the Orient, and they are also Western people are using hegemony on the Orient. And another one is Bidham's the Islam and the West. He is talking about the related to mutual hatred and the range between the Orient and and this about the Orientalism, how we can read the Orientalism is working into the world. Like Edward says, he's talking about the description about the Orient, how the Orient was described in the Orientalism book written by Edward says. And yeah, if we say that the ontology and epistemology, that's very different from the one and another. Like Orient and Occidental both have a powerful West and Greek East, which work like episteme of Western about Orient functions as a part of Euro-American colonialist ideology. As we can find in this chart that Italy as Orientalized West, like Japan and Italy, both have a different notion of living the life. Like those who are believing from the those who are belongs from the West, they have a more civilized way of living, or they are using a hegemony like superization of the tradition, and another way is we can find the inferiorization of modernity. So here I have used one image which is talking about how the West West are using a hegemony or power over the Orient. Like those who are from West, the Occident, who is talking about why do you they attack us just because we kill them and occupy their land. That means in the answer to the Occident, Orient say that I was going to ask you the same thing. Like both have a different kind of a conflict in between. Maybe sometimes Occident are ruling over the Islamic country, or Islamic country or sometimes Orient who is also come power over the Occident, like Occidentalism, which is talking about the third world countries have a gradually developed oppositional form to Orientalism. Like it usually the Western has really had a bias against Orient. Sometimes we cannot say that really they are like that, but they have some kind of a bias to understand the Orient. So Orients are against of them that why they are talking about like that about us. Really, we are not. In this, also we can here compare the movie Election Fundamental with this Occidentalism. Like they are, there is also character Genghis who is facing some problem in the living in the Western world. Like the same thing, he is asking that Western people has some kind of a bias about the Orient. That's why they are using hegemony over the Orient. Like in this case, Occident consists constructed as a other conflict between the. Here we can find the both the conflict or war between the both the community, like Iranian elite army and Iranian and America. It is this war was going on at the time. The Occident will come over as a other rather than to be Orient. Like Edward says, that I hope to have shown my reader that the answer to the Orientalism is not Occidentalism. Here are some of the objective, or we can say that aims of my presentation, like to advocate an oppositional between Orientalism and Occidentalism. And I also tried to prove that in this current era, the main tendency is a culture dialogue rather than the cultural opposition. And also the role of Orientalism and Occidentalism into the post-colonial literature. And to understand the dominance and oppression of the West uh, over east or west, what may be possible. These are the citations. And thank you.
Yes, good. Well presented. Good use of good resources also is being done. Good resources also has been taken and very well connected. The ideas with the articles that you have discussed there. Okay. Okay, nice one. Okay, next presenter. See the questions. Don't forget to ask questions. You are again forgetting to ask questions. You are supposed to remember, and you have to say that I have a question. You have to say that I have a question. I want to ask question, so that you are still not habituated of asking a question out of curiosity, or not even posting in chat. At least in chat you have to put the question. Two students following, or any students can ask. Any students can ask. Once your presentation is over, now you are free from the mental pressure of your so then you can keep on listening and asking questions. Keep on posting your questions to everybody. Don't miss it out. This a good opportunity to have good discussion based on questions. Okay, so after Dharti, Dhara. Yes, Dhara.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Is it okay, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today's subject, the post-colonial literature. I am going to present A Tempest as a post-colonial reading. So first of all, let's know what is the colonialism and what is the post-colonialism. Then the colonialism is the control and governing influence of the nation over the dependent country, and the post-colonial means after colonialism. Post-colonialism is the study of culture after the physical and political withdrawal of an oppressive power. So In the central idea in the post-colonial literature is that many common motifs and themes like cultural dominance and racism, quest for identity, racial discrimination, inequality, and hybridity, along with some peculiar presentation style. And most of the post-colonial writers inflected and demonstrates many thematic concepts, which are quite connected with both colonizer as well as the colonized, while Europeans continually accentuated on racial and discriminations for their superiority over the colonized. And here, this play, A Tempest, is also we can see as a post-colonial reading or play, because here the post-colonialism is a government or a theory which exposes the effects of colonialism. It exposes the colonizers and their deeds. Here, the imperialist themes of A Tempest have often been noted by post-colonial critics, with Prospero being seen as a European overlord and Philippines as a victim of this colonist oppression. A Tempest is a post-colonial text, as we have seen that the post-colonial exposes the deeds of colonizers and rewrite the text brings a periphery in the center. As well as the here the Caesar also has a conscious about the politicians' aim in reworking in the play of Shakespeare, The Tempest, his play, keenly examined key issue and themes of the original in the light of post-colonial criticism, and has been a significant literary approaches in since the later 20th century, when many countries all around the world liberated themselves from European imperialism, and European literary works began to be re-examined for their imperialist learning. And here, the imperialist the theme of A Tempest have been noted by post-colonial critics, with Prospero being seen as a European overlord and Caliban as a victim of the colonies oppression. And the main character of this play is a Prospero. He also seen as a master of this land, and he is a sympathetic character in that he was wronged by his uprising brother, and but his absolute power over the other characters and his overwrought speeches make him difficult to like. In out of this glimpse of him, he appears a bluff uh, and self imperialism. And here the character Ariel is seen as a slave, because the Ariel is a spirit of air, because he refuses to serve the witch. Here the Sycorax was imprisoned in the tree until he rescued by Prospero. Ariel approaches his task with enthusiasm, quickly doing what is asked, and promptly reported any activities that he has done very curiously. And throughout the novel, Ariel represents as a colonized and Prospero is a colonizer, because the Ariel is doing his work under the power of Prospero. He is under the control of the Prospero. And here the another character, Caliban. He is also the slave of the Prospero, and he is the Prosperous dark and earthly slave, frequently referred to as a monster by the other character. Despite his savage demands and ugly appearance, he has been interpreted by many critics such as a symbol of native cultures and occupied and suppressed by European colonizer society. And he is also represented as a colonized of the Prospero, under the Prospero, and Prospero represented as a colonizer, and Caliban he also under the power of Prospero. So throughout the novel we can see the Caliban and Ariel as a representatives colonized, and Prospero is the master in this land. So we can see this is work citation. Thank you.
Can you show your work citations? Yeah. Okay. Now see,
Yes.
your work citations have a problem. Alphabetical order is not there. Yeah. alphabetical order is necessary in that, and also capitalization. When you type text, then capital letters, that you have to be very careful about. Capitalization also is
Okay,
an
sir.
issue. Okay. Spelling errors. Junior, Robert Young Junior, you have written Joe. JR it is, JR Junior. Instead of
Okay, sir.
JO, you have written Anya, you have written Annie. It is Annie, ANI you have written instead of Anya Lumba. So these are very grave mistakes that you have made. Okay. Okay, next one after this is Bharti.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please continue. Yeah.
Good afternoon to all. So, today's my topic is the white and black psychology. So, the white and black word itself show the psychology of woman. So, the synopsis of Frantz Fanon. Ibrahim Frantz Fanon was a French West Indian psychiatrist. He was a political philosopher from the French colony of Martinique. His works have become influential in the field of postcolonial studies, critical theories, and Marxism. Fanon was a political radical, pan-Africanist, and Marxist humanist concerned with the psychopathology of colonization and the human social and cultural consequences of decolonization. So here is about the Black Skin and White Mask book. The book published in the 1952 by Frantz Fanon. The book is about the unsurpassed study of the black psyche in the white world. The book is Fanon's major work on blackness. Fanon in Fanon's life, he wrote first Black Skin and White Mask book. The book is a multidisciplinary analysis of the effect of colonialism on racial consciousness. Combines autobiography, case study, philosophy, and psychoanalytical in a psychoanalytic theory in order to describe and analyze the experience of black men and women in white controlled societies. Interesting psychoanalysis, phenomenology, existentialism, and negritude theory. Fanon articulated an expansive view of the psychosocial repercussion of colonial on colonized people. So here is the psychology of white colonizer. White men's mentally and their mentalities and their views about the black men. White people always think that they are always superior than the black people. So the white people see black people as their bodies. So they appear mindless and sexual human beings. So here I am using another text. That is Robinson Crusoe, Psychology of Robinson Crusoe. So Robinson Crusoe is written by Daniel Defoe. Robinson Crusoe is a novel about Robinson Crusoe is novel that shows psychology of white colonizer. In the novel, Robinson Crusoe is a narrator, and he meets Friday at the sea, and he protect to Friday, and he give a name to Friday. Friday. So he saved life of Friday. So Friday is under the Crusoe. So Crusoe think that he is superior than the Friday. So I made him know that his name was to be Friday. So he gave a name to Friday, and I likewise taught him to say master. So he will ultimately become master because of his whiteness, and he think that Crusoe is black, so he's under his slave. So so there is become a strong relation between the Robinson Crusoe and Friday. So Crusoe says that to be my slave ever. So this line shows that he ultimately become superior than Friday, and he give a name to Friday as a slave ever. So another is black people's desire to be white. Black women look down on race, wish to be white. Black men wish to be white, or at least prove themselves equal to white men. So here I am using one novel, The Bluest Eye. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. It is a story about an African American girl named Pecola. Pecola's desire for blue eyes. So she believes that if she had blue eyes, their beauty world inspired beautiful and kindly behavior. So the color one's skin eye do influence how one treated to us. So Pecola has internalized that white society ideal of what is meant to be a beautiful. So she thinks that whiteness and beauty are the empower and secure. Secure. So the whiteness are secure. So we can say that it means that black people are not secure. So they have a desire to be white. Blacks inequality and struggle for acceptance. So here is one quote: "Power is never good unless he who has it is good." So blacks far more than whites. Say the black people are treated unfairly across different realms of life. So the black people fight for equality. The feeling of inferiority, no. Feeling of not existence by Franz Fanon. After having been a slave of the white man, he enslaved himself by Franz Fanon. Franz Fanon gave quotation to prove that inferiority and superiority are both very different, to show the existence and enslavement. So here is conclusion: inequality and justice between the black and white change the psychology of people. The Negro is not any more than the white man in Fanon's word he is writing. So exposes an utterly declivity where an authentic uphill can be born. Here are some references. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, fine. Next speaker is Asha. Dharti has asked one question. If you want to answer this, yes. Dharti's question is: how does power politics work in the Kashiram Kotwal? Whom have you asked, Dharti? This question is to whom?
I have asked to Hansa.
So that you have to write. To whom you are asking, that you have to write that question. Yeah. Okay, the other students also keep posting your questions that you have to ask to other people. Okay? Yes, okay, Asha, you can continue.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone, and today here I am with a third presentation, which is on post-colonial studies, and my topic for today's presentation is Mulan, which is a film created by Disneyland. And in this film, I'm going to see a film which is of a cultural diversity, but embedded with coloniality. So let's begin. So some of the objectives of my presentation is, this presentation tried to cover the topic that how a Mulan is an American reconstruction of a Chinese legendary figure, And this presentation also tried to explore how the legacy of coloniality can still be seen embedded in framing of such films, which is Mulan, despite the studio's stated intention that towards that they are preparing a film on diversity and multiculturalism. Then third objective is how Disney's intention to depict more authentic story seems to be failed here. At some extent, we see that Disney's intention seems to be failed here. And lastly, this presentation also tried to highlight the gap between what is the intention of doing something and how it affected on society. When a corporation is at the center, corporation is at a power in hegemonic status. So before we go, let's see what is Disney's intention behind creating a culturally diversified film. So there are some many reasons. They used to prepare a film taking a culture of particular nation or particular region, or they try to create a film on that particular culture. So there are some of the concept on which they are focusing, which is on globalization. They are also preparing a film supporting the multiculturalism, and they want to show the culture of every nation or every region. So they are in a search of global culture. And there is one quote given by Eleanor Byron and Martin McWillan, who spoke about the intention of Disney animated film studio. So some of the most recent Disney films have appeared to be actively engaging with questions of race and racism, ethnic cleansing, and tolerance of cultural differences, marked by climate of liberal social politics ushered in by the Clinton era. So the major intention behind Disneyland is to create a film which is full of multiculturalism, which is full of hybridity, and which shows the different cultures. Mulan is a Disney feature animated film which is released in 1998. A film which is of a perfect representation of cultural integration, in which Chinese and American elements are mixed to put up a wonderful story. So in this particular film, Chinese and American, both cultures are mixed together. So this is a story about Chinese folklore, and the protagonist of the movie is a female character, which is Mulan. So this film portrays diverse and cross-cultural womanhood. This is a film about culture and historical take was decontextualized and reframed the culture, the Chinese culture and Chinese legendary story. And American reconstruction, and this film can be seen as American reconstruction of the Chinese legendary figure. So what are the difference between the original story, original folklore of China, and a film prepared on that particular folklore is Disney's Mulan. So protagonist of both the movie is Sam, who is a young woman who disguised herself to take her father's place in army. When this ballad was written, at that time there is one war which is going between China and Yuan. So in that there is a compulsory recruitment of soldiers. So there is a letter to this family, but her father is not well enough to go in war. So and there is a compulsion. So this her daughter, as his sense of a filial duty, decide to go there in a form of disguise, in a form of a male figure. And in a Disney movie, we see that she goes in a battlefield with a sense of individuality, like as a citizen of a nation, it is my individual responsibility to give my 100% in the security of nation. And there is also some changes which are made, is like the protagonist of the movie is interested in she has a romantic interest. She fell love in with a person who is working with her, one soldier, and magical. She has a power to talk with animals. She has a magical power to talk with animals, and in the original form we see that she kept a secret of her gender throughout the 12 years, but in movies see that in between of a battle she reveals by chance got revealed her identity, and a revelation of her identity leads towards the loss of her reputation in movie. But in the film there is a no revelation of her identity, and so these are some of the differences between the original one and movie adaptation, and how this movie is criticized by people. And if we see criticism, then most of the criticism is coming from China. So that point also we have to consider when we are talking about it. So good intention can still cause some harm and potential exploitation of marginalized community. So this Disney film is intentionally or unintentionally, we are not about that consciously or unconsciously, this film Disney power and position when adapting narrative from other culture try to perpetuate a pattern of the West, constructing an orientalized image of the other in its depiction of other culture and ethnicity. So this film adaptation, where cultural story was decontextualized and reframed deliberately to make it universal, but universality in the sense that they attract the Western audience. So this is a critique done by Jing Yen. And there are also some critique on the particular main protagonist, which is Mulan. That character of Mulan was represented as being a foreigner looking more than her Chinese look, because she is from legendary figure from China. So, but in the film, she looks more like a foreigner, and in also behavior, she is different from the Mulan of Chinese folklore. For viewers, it has become difficult for viewers to recognize her. So, in the conclude, we can see that Chinese people, this film is about Chinese people are made more American in this film than they are Asian, and Chinese are more familiar to the people of America and Europe, linked with the notion of post-colonialism. Movie do not look Asian entirely as they are. They try to misrepresent it at some extent. And the movie present an American story in Chinese context, and coloniality become embedded in animated depiction of other cultures, despite Disney's reported efforts to tell more authentic stories from other cultures. So in conclude, we can say that this film, if we see this film from post-colonial point of view, then Mulan fails at some extent to transfer the ethnic material into a timeless or universal classic. And there is one also critic, Jin Yang, says about this movie that Chinese cultural values were selectively disposed and replaced with Western ideologies that simultaneously pacify feminist criticism and reinforce the racial and cultural hierarchy. Thank you. These are some of the references. Thank you. If anyone have a question, they can ask.
No, it is very well presented, very well argued also. Good arguments are given in favor, and how, yeah, you can stop your presentation now. So all the participants can put their camera also on. So it was a good that how even the Chinese people have resisted to this idea, that also is very important, that how the Chinese people they have resisted to this idea, that they don't accept that Europeanization of their legendary characters. That was good, well argued point of view that was given in this presentation. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Okay, so who is remaining now?
May I answer?
Yes, yeah, Amit, yeah. Yes, you continue with your presentation, Amit. Yeah.
Hello everyone. Today I am going to present in paper number 11 in the post-colonial literature paper. I choose the topic comparison of Shakespeare's Tempest and Caesar's Tempest. So what is the difference between these two plays that I present here in this PPT? So first we see the introduction about Caesar, who wrote the play A Tempest. His full name M. Ferdinand David Caesar, born 26 June 1930 and died 17 April 2008. He was a Francophone and French poet, author, and politician from the region of Martinique. He wrote discourse on colonialism, denunciation of European colonized racism and dissent and hypocrisy. His writing style reflects his passion for civic and social engagement. And then we see The Tempest, written by William Shakespeare. We all know about William Shakespeare as a greatest writer and playwright of the English literature. So let's see introduction about that writer. English poet, playwright, and actor, greatest writer in English literature. Shakespeare produced most of his known works between 1589 and 1630. His early plays were primarily comedies, and historians are regarded as some of the best work produced in this genre. Then we see A Tempest by M. Caesar, published in 1961. So what is the basic things and what is the introduction about that play, that we see how that difference The Tempest by William Shakespeare. There are much difference between both the plays. So let's see one by one. It is an adaptation of Shakespeare's The Tempest from a post-colonial perspective. This post-colonial reworking of Shakespeare's original play, The Tempest, M. Caesar developed the negritude movement, which raises the question of French colonial rule and restore the cultural identity of blacks in the African diaspora. The play was first performed at the Festival of Hammamet in Tunisia under the direction of Jean-Marie Serroux. It later played in Avignon and Paris. Then we see the introduction about The Tempest, written by Shakespeare in 1610, and through the be one of the last plays that Shakespeare wrote alone. The Tempest is a lesson in the first folio as the first of Shakespeare comedies. So this is known as the first comedy of William Shakespeare. How we can compare Shakespeare's The Tempest with M. Caesar's A Tempest. What is the difference between these two plays? In The Tempest, Caliban never tries to challenge Prospero. He used his language. In A Tempest, Caliban tries to challenge to Prospero by saying the native word uhuru. And there is not much difference between Shakespeare's The Tempest and Caesar's A Tempest, but A Tempest presents colonial aspect and mentality of master-slave relationship between that both the place. That is the difference we see here. Then we see Tempest. What we can see in the Tempest by Caesar. It is really a post-colonial response to the Tempest. As such, deal with the story from the point of view of Caribbean and areas. The translation simplifies and shorten the original. Means the translation simplify and shorten the original. Means in here we can see the temp here this line we can make to the Tempest written by William Shakespeare. So that is the original play. Ariel and Calabian argue about modes of resistance. Ariel pleads for non-violence, where Ariel Mulando slave attempts to win over his master, and Calabian speaks outright and demands. Then the Tempest, he is the protagonist and central character. The Tempest, father of Miranda, master of Ariel and Calabian. 12 years ago, Prospero lost the Ducanon of a million to his scheming brother Antonio. Here they live on an isolated island. Two slaves, the spirit Ariel and the Calibian. Prospero caused the ship in which Antonio is traveling with the king of Naples and his son to be wreathed on the island. So in Shakespeare Tempest, Prospero lives at the end, but in Caesar Tempest, Caliban and Prospero lives there. At the end, Prospero grants Ariel his freedom, but retains control of that island and of Caliban. Caesar version of this play explores the original concept in a further depth in incorporating the themes of colonization and magnitude, which Caesar studied extensively. A Tempest addressed the modernist issue and theories through the utilizations, a classic only that most modern readers are familiar with. So here that type of compare we can see both the plays written by different writers here. These are the some references. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So two students are remaining, Hitixa and Hareshwari. Yes, Hitixa, are you ready now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Yeah. Don't take much time. Yeah, 7 minutes. You have to wind up your presentation. At 3:30, yes, Professor Mandalia sir is going to take class in semester 1. So I'll have to switch over to that session. To begin the session, I have to go off. So in case things are going late, and if I'm not able to reply here around 3:30, 18 minutes are there still, 2 presenters are remaining. Then don't wait for my comments. You can leave one by one after this. If I'm not responding here after the presentations, you can leave. And remember, self-evaluation, peer evaluation. Tomorrow, see that in live session, I don't have to taunt anybody for not doing the work. So check it out whether you have done the marking for all the 4 presentations in proper way or not. And also remind the students of other slots also that they have completed their marking of all the things or not. Okay? Yes, Hitixa, start here.
My screen is visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible. Yeah.
Okay. Today I am going to tell you about critical analysis, imaginary homeland, and example of Jhampa Lahiri's novel, The Namesake. So let's start. Salman Rushdie is the most controversial writer among Indian writing in English. His book, published under the title Imaginary Homeland, is a collection of the essays written between 1981 and 1992. This book is the collection of the controversial issues of the decade. All the essays are based on Salman Rushdie's experience of the contemporary time scenario. About the author, Salman Rushdie was born on 19 June 1947 in Bombay. Salman Rushdie is a British Indian novelist and essayist. He was famous for his essay and novel. His subjects written are historical criticism and travel writing. Salman Rushdie's works, Midnight Children's, Political of India and Pakistan, Anglian literature, movie and television, experience of migrants, Indian migrants to British, imaginary homeland. Imaginary Homeland essay, also a different collection of various articles, seminar paper, reviews published over a decade of literary lifetime during 1981-1992. In addition to the essay, the collection also includes Commonwealth literature does not exist. Rusty definition of migrant identity and the theme of India diaspora in imaginary homelands. Salman Rushdie selects different subjects like political, social, and literary topics in this essay with various deals and critical approaches. In the first essay, Imaginary Homeland, there is a description about past and present memories of Salman Rushdie. Salman Rushdie says that sometimes we feel we straddle two culture, at other time that we fall between two stools. According to Rushdie, the imaginary homeland is ideal because people can't retire it. Example of Jhampa Lahiri's the namesake. About the Jhampa Lahiri is an American author now for her short stories, novels, and essay in English and more recently in Italian. Jhampa Lahiri write about Indian diaspora in the U.S. Lahiri's work, interpreter of melodies, the namesake, the lowland, and enactment earth. The namesake. The namesake is the first novel by American author Jhampa Lahiri. The namesake was originally published in the Network, New York, and was later expanded to a full-length novel. As a writer of Indian diaspora in America, Jhampa Lahiri explores the themes like displacement, and identity. In the namesake, she writes about the Indian American people's nostalgia for their home country. The couple Ashima and Ashok reconcile an imagined homeland through their interaction with Indian American community around them. Threading Indian and American two countries, the Indian American community also has a hybrid identity. This hybridity is a
She was almost near conclusion, and I think she has got disconnected. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Hareshwari. Hareshwari, are you there? She won't be knowing that she is not audible, so she keeps on talking. She keeps on speaking on the other side. Yes, Hareshwari, are you there? You can start your presentation. Hareshwari. Okay, Hareshwari, are you there? She is there, but I think there is some problem. Hareshwari, yours is the last one for today. I think she is not able to listen us, perhaps. Yeah. Yes. Okay. She also has left the meeting. Yeah. Okay, we'll take her turn tomorrow. We'll take both the presentation. Inform her that she will have to make both the presentations in tomorrow's slot. Okay? Hareshwari as one is the one only that. All others were present today. Two students, Sanjay Jogadia and Sanjay Dharaiya, they sent pre-recorded videos, and those videos were played in the other slot. all other students were present, except for one Hareshwari. We were able to complete everybody. If she is there, we can still take her. Hareshwari, are you there? Then we can complete today's slot. Or else tomorrow. Inform her that tomorrow she will have to make both the presentations there. Okay. Okay, so we end our presentation slot here with this final remark there. Okay, so wish you all the best for tomorrow's the final presentation. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, hello. Sir.